So, so it's as the band is still at the bar getting drinks. Thank you for treating them. This part of Billie Holiday history that I do want to impress on you is tied in with my very first time coming to a Harlem jazz club in 1997. It was called St. Nick's Pub. Anybody heard about this one? And I'll be the first to tell you. I know that Allison back there heard of it because she saw Gregory Porter playing over there. And Bruce Willis and Ed Norton were on the scene when it burnt to the ground. A couple months ago, some of you in New York heard that there was a fire up in Harlem at a movie set. And it was actually this club, the St. Nick's Pub, which had been around since it was called the Poospatook in the 20s. And since Billy Strayhorn, who wrote tunes for Duke Ellington, had a gay jazz club over there. And since it was Lucky Roberts' club called Lucky's Rendezvous, and where Sonny Rollins used to hang out there. Anyway, this place was, for anyone who had been there, one of the coolest things you could do. In 1997, you could even play one-arm bandits slot machines in the back. There was someone else taking your money and your numbers, and I just felt that's exactly where I belong, in St. Nick's Pub, listening to some of the best musicians. In fact, Stevie Wonder had wandered in there with his daughter Aisha the week before I got there, which made me want to keep coming back for when that happened. Greatest saxophone player that I heard in those days, and still James Carter used to show up there on a nightly basis. David Murray, another great sax player. But this is where everything was happening, and I'm guessing that some of the cats on stage had also been up there. Anyway, places are starting to spin out and leave. And it's too bad. Gin Fizz is here, and that's good because it looks like it belongs. And I don't know if you guys want to if you support it by keeping track of the Instagram, and it's Gin Fizz New York City or Gin Fizz NYC, then you'll see what kind of events they're having here. In fact, tomorrow night there's going to be a blues set with a guy called Phil Young. And I'm going to encourage everyone to come back here and patronize Gin Fizz again and hear Phil Young's blues experience. If you go down to 133rd Street, there's a place called Bill's Place. And Bill's Place is one of the hardest chorus jazz places you can find, and it used to be where chicken and waffles was invented. So chicken and waffles, anybody? Some of you had chicken and waffles. Everyone thinks it's Southern or Roscoe's from LA, but it was Tilly's Chicken Shack on 133rd Street during Prohibition. That's where Billie Holiday was discovered by John Hammond. A guy called Bill Saxton runs it now as Bill's Place. You can bring your own bottle of scotch, sit there and watch them blow your minds. And that's happening every Friday and Saturday. Minton's Playhouse, the birthplace of bebop jazz. People heard of traditional Dixieland jazz, swing era jazz. A lot of these places are closing down, but Minton's reopened on 118th Street. I'm going to encourage you to patronize that place. Good food, yeah, and I'm sure that Anthony's going, for sure. This is a scene that needs to be nurtured, and you guys are nurturing it, so I'm speaking to the choir. But keep on nurturing and tell your friends, and if they need any help finding it, this is the hashtag sign, hashtag Big Apple Jazz. All right, that's my thing. On Instagram, I take pictures of musicians every night and post them up there so you can read where they're playing, what they look like, and Tommy, I think, is also one of the great social media mavens of our time. He's got the longest arms, so his selfies are the best. Right? So anyway, I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to let Elliot and Ray and Tommy take you into the next set.